What's going on, everyone? I hope everybody's doing all right today. Oh man, I gotta do it again. I gotta vent. Okay? I gotta vent. I have to. I'm sorry. For those who don't know me, my name is Devin White. If you haven't been on my Facebook page yet, or my YouTube page, check out my Facebook page. Changing the world starts with you. And on YouTube, it's called D-TALKS. Okay? D-DALKS. Detox. Okay? Now, today's topic, I know everybody's going crazy about Biden, and I'm not here to say that I am for nor against. I'm indifferent, as well as any president that the United States has ever had or voted upon. And before I get, into this, I wanted to shed some light on something that's bigger than what we think. So, I know we always talk about, or we should always talk about, man, we need to find somebody that's down to earth, that's know what it's like to work 40 hours a week and know what it's like, not to come from wealth, to know what it's like to not be born into money or have everything given to you in silver spoons your whole life, like some of these politicians or some of these famous actors that come from money and run for president. People who have no idea what it's like to associate with us. People who don't know what it's like to buy a car for $20,000 and think we're doing good things with our life. And it hit me in the face, just these last couple of days, because I always tell you, if I run for president, vote for me. Now, I hate to say can't, and I'm not going to say can't, but I'm going to say it's very, very not likely to happen. And the reason is because, yes, I feel like I'm a down-to-earth guy. I'm not perfect. I have made flaws and stuff in my life. Hey, Matthew 7:7, you without sin cast the first stone. Don't judge me, I won't judge you. That's actually Matthew 7:7. Don't judge. Excuse me, I said the wrong one. But anyway, so my point is that we'll never have a down-to-earth guy in the White House. Before I even get into Biden, we'll never have that. Because it takes millions and millions of dollars to go to every state and campaign for yourself. So even if I wanted to, let's say I started in Kentucky because I live in Kentucky now, and I wanted to hit all 50 states, and I drive a Prius, luckily, so gas isn't really a big deal, but, you're putting mileage, I got to have a place for all my stuff, I got to pay storage, or I got to find some friends that's going to hold it for me until I get back, I have car insurance, and if I'm not working, how am I going to be able to travel around the nation and campaign? I got to have banners, I got to have t-shirts, I got to have hats, I got to have all this stuff made in order to get and pay for ads on TV, billboards and stuff, to even hold a candle to anybody else out there. Maybe I can get YouTube famous one day or something like that, or Facebook famous or something like that, and I can get a little bit of wealth that way and spread it on a social media platform. But half the people, when I tell the truth about this stuff, don't share it anyway. So, we're kind of our own downfall, and yet we put all of our faith into some guy that, doesn't live the same lifestyle as us. While we choose between Wendy's, McDonald's, and KFC and Taco Bell, they're choosing between steak, mahi-mahi, and salmon, or Wagyu, expensive stuff, and they're not worried about healthcare. They're not worried about paying their bills. They're not worried about that stuff. So it drives me bonkers on how much we can love someone that has no correlation to what we are affiliated with, And what really drives it is hatred. That's what drives it. It's hatred from the last guy. It's hatred because one guy didn't fulfill all your needs. One president didn't fulfill all your needs, And I'll say it, I feel like a lot of reason why people voted in, Donald Trump, over Hillary Clinton was primarily because, her family, Hillary's family was, been in politics for such a long time, and I think another reason why is because they don't want a woman president. Some of the men are not okay with having a woman run this country. And frankly, I don't care what sex they are. If they're going to do a good job and take care of this country and take care of our troops and stuff like that and run the country the way that American will be proud of, I have no problem with it. I don't care what sex, religion, race, whatever they are, whatever they identify with. I could care less. Because what really matters is what they're going to do and how they're going to do the job. It's just like any other job. If you work in McDonald's, you could be a felon. You could be the best worker that ever lived there, ever worked there. It all depends on what you put into it, and that's what we need. We need somebody that's going to go out there and represent America as a whole, and until we find that down to earth guy and invest in him, no matter his color, no matter his sex, no matter what he looks like, whatever, no matter his religious beliefs, invest in an American that has endured the American dream. Because if not, then we're just voting in Americans that other Americans already prospered in. That person didn't earn that. They came from wealth. And it's hard to say that like the guy like Joe Biden said, if you shouldn't be poor or live in poverty if you work 40 hours a week. Okay, well then stop giving our money to overseas. You can't. It all sounds good in politics until you get in there. But I'm going back to what I was talking about. I had to rant for a second, so that's how I feel. Maybe one day, I'll see it differently. Maybe one day I'll be blessed enough to be able to campaign and, run the country, or even just run Kentucky or run a town that I live in, or even just contribute more and let my voice be heard, because the less that we do, the less that we get back in return. The less that we stand up for what we believe in, the more that we're going to get walked all over. And it's happened. And it's happening now. So I guess what I'm saying to wrap that whole segment up is be true to yourself. Be true to American values. We're all Americans. Yes, I'm brown, black. I don't care what you call me. I don't like the term African American because I'm not from Africa. I didn't descend from Africa. I'm an American. I don't like when people categorize skin colors with, it's just not cool. I'm an American. That's what I want to be seen as. Going back to what everybody's raging about. I don't know if you guys have seen the video or not of what happened in Afghanistan. I believe it is, where Biden pulled out all the troops and stuff, and the Taliban's taking over, and the press house speaker or whatever, said we want to see where Taliban wants to lie with all this stuff, or what they're going to be in the world community, in which we already knew that they were terrorists. I mean, that's just what they are. I'm going to say it. I'll say it. That's just what I feel they are. And the thing about the word terrorist, because the word terrorist is another word for freedom fighter in some people's eyes. What I mean by that is that if I stand up for something that I believe in, I'm willing to die to go against the cause, to go against the grain, it's considered a terrorist. Okay? According to society. I may be a freedom fighter, but in some eyes, I'm here to cause terror because I'm not going along with the grain. I'm cutting against the grain, if that makes sense. Okay? So that's what I see. If you're killing people, innocent people and stuff like that, if they oppose you and you go to war and you fight them and kill them, that's war. But if you're just going around shooting people and beheading people in the name of your religion, then we need to talk, buddy. But anyway, that's what I want to talk about today. What's happening in Afghanistan and stuff like that. I don't know if you guys have seen the video of I want to say it's a C-130, I believe, that's taking off. And, there's if you notice, there's two little things falling from the sky. From what my knowledge is, those are people falling. And I feel two ways about it. I'm not to say that I'm heartless and I'm inconsiderate of those people over there, but we have been over there. A lot of countries have been over there since the 20s. I want to say the English have been over there since the 20s. The Russians have been over there. We've been over there for the last 30, 40 years. And it's time to stop. I tell people, I said when I was in high school, I would teach anybody how to fight as long as they were doing it for a just cause. As long as they were willing to fight, I was willing to fight with them. Especially if they were being bullied. That's the thing. If they're being bullied, I'd be willing to fight with them to help them out. Okay? Now, the problem with that is that I'm not going to always be in that person's life. Okay? Unless they pay me to be there. That's just my job as security. But I can teach you how to fight. I can teach you how to protect yourself. I can teach you that. But it's going to be up to you to want to fight. The people that were hanging on to that plane, like, I can't imagine what they were thinking. I mean, I guess that's what fear does to you. think that you can hold on to a plane traveling at 400 miles an hour and going to be up above 10,000 feet off the ground, temperature changes and stuff, I wish they could use that courage to fight back, to pick up a gun and fight back. And I'm saying that looking at it from the other side. It's war. You have somebody coming into your house or coming into your town to try to take over. What are you going to do? Are you going to bow down and let them take over and you know what they're going to do? Or are you going to go out fighting? Are you going to go out fighting for your family and fighting for your country? And I think of like as soldiers, they sign up to do this. Police officers, in certain circumstances, they sign up to do this. And it's like they have to have that fight more than we do. For that bully, or for that kid's getting bullied, he has to be able to want to stand up to that bully more than I do. I don't like bullies. But if he's the one getting bullied and he's not going to do anything about it except do it, I'm not going to stand up for him. I'll do it a couple times, but after that, I have to step back because then I'm jeopardizing myself because I can get in trouble for fighting the bully. I can get in trouble for beating the guy up and hurting him. You know what I'm saying? So I only can do so much. We've been over there for 20 years. We've been over there for 20 years. Over 20 years. Okay? We've trained soldiers. We've given them equipment. We've given them the stuff to protect themselves with. Okay? We've given them that. At some point, some people in America are mad because Biden left all those people over there to fend for themselves. But at what expense? This is devil's advocate. But what expense? Is it worth to have a U.S. soldier die for a cause that he don't even really want to do? Because he's fighting for somebody else, and it's not even affecting our own home. That's a sacrifice. That's a sacrifice. If my house is on fire, my neighbor's house on fire, and I leave my house to go put out his fire and my house burned down and I die in the flames protecting his house, that's a sacrifice. So, at what expense? Is what expense of how many soldiers will die because he don't want to help you fight? Because they put down their arms, don't want to help you fight. My soldiers, if I was president, aren't pawns. They're not pawns. They're not just chess pieces I get to go around and put, say, ooh, look here, look what I can do. I can flex and I can put people here and put people here. That's not what they're for. They're for to protect America. They have to have America's interests first. I'm not talking about interest in oil. We're going over there and fighting for oil. I'm not talking about going over there and fighting for natural, what's the word for it? God, I can't think of the name. Anyway, not going over there for money. That's what I'm trying to say, for money. Because some politician, like the vice president, the Huey plane company or whatever, he stayed in Vietnam and he was manufacturing airplanes or helicopters to go over there. The more airplanes, the more helicopters he made, the more money he was making. That's what his company was. That's messed up. That's wrong in so many levels, to go over there and have soldiers die so you can fatten up your pockets. I don't agree with that. I think that if Americans, if House and Senate members have foreign investments as House members, that need to be terminated because it becomes biased. Well, we need to go over there and invest in foreign aspects because I have a company over there, and I'm going to give you half the shares. Other senator, I'll give you half the shares if you pass this bill to go over there. That's so wrong to me. We have to be able to stand up and fight for what is right and hold people accountable for what they've done wrong. Especially if we're dealing with foreign affairs and stuff like that. Having soldiers die for that cause. You know what I'm saying? To fatten your own pockets. But so like I said, I don't think we should go over there for oil or for money or for international ties. We've been over there long enough. They have to be willing to fight for themselves. I don't feel sorry in that aspect, okay? However, on the flip side, playing devil's advocate, part of me does feel bad because I heard about what the Taliban does. I heard about how they torture people and stuff, and how they treat women and stuff like that, But again, at one point, you have to be able to fight your own battles. I fight my own battles every day, right? They may be subtle battles. They may not be big war. It may be subtle battles, of dealing with, prejudge. People looking at me, seeing my hair, seeing the skin color, and automatically assuming that I'm some type of way before I even open my mouth. And this goes for every culture, white people too. Because nowadays, everybody is getting categorized as something they're not. And it's not good. It's always bad. All right. Sorry, I lost connection for a second. But anyway, as I was saying, part of me feels bad because, people are going to die and stuff like that. But at the same time, they got to be able to fight for themselves. He's giving them stuff. Now, the only thing that I would do differently if I was president in this term is that I would say, listen, the president of Iraq or whatever, or Afghanistan, listen, we're going to be pulling out our troops on September the 5th, okay? We're pulling them out. We're done. It'd be no different if the landlord calls you and say, look, you're getting evicted. You got 30 days, brother. Get your stuff and get out. You got 30 days. I'd give them a time frame. Whatever you decide to do from there, that's on you. If you don't believe me, don't believe me. It's going to happen. I'm pulling my troops out. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of my soldiers dying. It's time to move around. It's time to go. Okay? We're leaving. Either you're gonna do something about it or you're gonna go back to where you were. But that's all going to depend on you. It's going to depend on you. So, but that's my 2 cents about that. I'm tired of hearing people complain about how Biden did that and how people are dying and people are jumping off and stuff. 1 minute, the last president, we're going to take all the troops out of there and we're going to do all this and blah, 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 blah. My plan is to bring the troops home. Okay, we bring them home. Oh my gosh, look what he did. All these people are dying because he pulled the troops out. Y'all just ain't going to be happy, are y'all? Some people ain't just going to be happy. And it's sad. Because people find one thing. And I'm indifferent. I don't like them. I do like them. I like some of the things, not all the things. But again, that's with every president. There's things I liked about Trump, things I didn't like about Trump. Things I liked about Obama, things I didn't like about Obama. It's how it is, okay? But we gotta fix the number one issue is the news. We've got to fix the news. We've got to fix the news. Our freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of press, our First Amendment, okay? People say, well, I can say whatever the heck I want to say, and I can curse and do whatever else, and I can say all... Yeah, there's a thin line between that, though. Every amendment has a... God, it's just so bad, I can't remember what it's called. I guess I'll call it an injunction, okay? Alright? And what I mean by that is that, yeah, I'll give you an example. For the right to bear arms, you can have all the guns you want, as long as they're not automatic, you don't have a license for it, or if they're a bomb or something, you have that license for that bomb. You have that license for it, but you can have it if you get your license. You can have whatever you want if you get the license for it. Same with freedom of speech. If I go in there and say that the building's on fire, I can be held accountable for that. If somebody gets panicked and jump out the window and die, that falls back on me. The media, the news media, every news media, CNN, every news media, the people who run the news, if they incite a riot, if they incite fear, if they incite something and push a narrative that's wrong, they should be held accountable for it. They should. They should be held accountable for it. It's wrong, and if I as a civilian, as a broke college student, can go to jail for it, then I don't see why if I repeat the same things that they say, that they don't get in trouble for it. It's not fair. It's double standards. So, but what's going on, Mo? But anyway, I'm done ranting. I had to say what I had to say. Guys, if you guys like this, if you guys support this, please share it. Get my message out there. Maybe I will be able to run for president one day, or a position one day I can go and I can campaign on. But it's going to be up to you guys to help me out. I have the message. I have the mindset. I want to see this country be great. I'm tired of seeing it get run down by media and by slander. By rich people who telling poor people that it's okay. It's literally no different than what it was back in the day, where they're saying, well, you're good. You're good, but you're not that good. Yeah, they're always comparing it to something else. They're always comparing it to Democrats. Well, the Democrats are doing all. Well, the Republicans they're the ones that are making it hard. You know, we gotta stop. We gotta stop fighting each other. We gotta stop fighting the man's keeping me down. You're keeping yourself down by believing that. That's you. You know. But like I said, guys, I hope and pray that one day that if this is God's plan for me to do this, then it'll happen. It'll be into fruition. But I need your guys' help. I need you to share. I need you to like. I need you to comment. I need you to talk. I need you to break away from your old habits. Break away from your old teachings. You know, if they're unjust. You know, if they're unjust, stop. I tell people, stop living your ancestors' life. Stop living your ancestors' life. I don't care if your ancestor was Robert E. Lee. You know what he did. Okay? You know what he did. You can be proud. Yeah, you know, he stood up and fought for something, you know, but it was wrong. You know? I'm proud that he stood up. He fought. He did stand up and fight, you know, but it was wrong. You know, but that's what his belief was. It's cool to say that. That's history. Doesn't mean you have to carry on the tradition still. You know? Traditions are made by you doing something different. You know? Changing it up. That's what makes your own tradition. You know, instead of having Thanksgiving, serving turkeys, serve a ham, cook hamburgers. Make it your own tradition. That way it's unique to you. Okay? Alright? So, again, guys, I'm done. I'm done ranting. I love you guys. Please get on my Facebook page. Changing the world starts with you. I have to accept you. And the reason why I have it like that is not just everybody comes into it, because there are scammers out there. There are fake profiles that want to get on there and go against what I'm saying and put words in my mouth and say all this other stuff. So I have to monitor who gets into it and who doesn't, you know. It would be cool one day if I can have, you know, 1 million people in it and stuff and follow the movement and stuff like that. I hope one day I get to talk to people like Candace Owen and Donald Trump and Joe Biden and ask and Kamala, whatever her name is, and ask her all these questions about, you know, you say all this stuff, you're going to do all this stuff, but you haven't done it. You know, why would you go and tell people to assemble to this if you know that it's wrong? Because your pride's hurt. You know, again, my American people aren't pawns, especially the soldiers. You know, it's simple as that. I can't make you look like a fool because you love me. You know, I'm not going to do that to you. If I love you, I'm going to respect you. I'm not going to have you do anything that's going to get you in trouble. And look back while I'm sitting in there eating my steak, watching the news. Look what I did, honey. Look what I did, Melina. Look, see that? I got them together, you know. And it's no different with the people who run Black Lives Matter or anything else. You know, they have to be held accountable for their actions. You know, if I ran an organization that caused terror, and that's not what my game plan was, it's gonna be up to me, the leader, to say, hey, whoa, hey, news, everybody, look, hold on, wait a minute. I don't condone. I don't agree with their actions. My organization does not handle itself. People that are in, you know, DMW organization, if you see someone setting a fire to that, you are commanded to stop them. You are commanded to stop them from looting. You are commanded to stop them from doing it. If you do not, then I do not want you in this organization publicly. Done. My plate is wiped clean. If not, then I'm sitting back watching it. It'd be no different if I saw somebody if I tell my people light a house on fire and I'm sitting back and watching it burn. I did it. It's me. You know. So, but guys, like I said, follow me on Facebook if you haven't yet. Changing the World Starts With You. It's on Facebook, YouTube, D Talks About It, D-TALKS About It. On YouTube, I have videos on there. I have several videos on there. Please get on there. I do have hats and t-shirts. I still believe I got to talk to my buddy Mo about that. Hopefully he still has them. If not, we can make them. We'll send them out to you and stuff. They're really cool t-shirts. My buddy Mo actually helped me design them. I appreciate that. I appreciate all the likes and love I've gotten so far. And I'm going to continue this, man, until I feel like I can't do it anymore. You know, and if this is God's plan, then I'm going to continue to do it all the way into the end. But don't let it stop with me. You know, if something happens to me, you know, if you look at the history of leaders that have tried to incite change, they don't always make it to the end. You know, and if that happens to me, then so be it. That's why my story ends. But I hope that I inspired one of you guys that are listening to this podcast or listening to this Facebook page or Facebook Live to continue the movement and continue in the right way. You know, sometimes when leaders get killed, the organization goes to crap. I'll talk about the Black Panther Party movement. It wasn't nothing crazy like that at the beginning. There were guys there that were tired of seeing police officers, abuse their community. And they stood up to it. And that's all that it was. And then drugs got involved in it and stuff after Huey was killed, I believe. H.P. Newton was killed or whatever. And then it just went to crap. Same with the gangs, Bloods and Crips. That was nothing bad at first. That was a community. That community resistance I forgot how it is, in progress. I think that's what it was or something like that. They were going against the police for acting up. And when the leader got killed, drugs got involved in it, gangs came out of it, and then one versus the other. It's crazy. But don't let something, because something happened to me, sell you short. Just like the Afghanistan people. Some people are going to die. I may be one of them. I may be the one that gets killed. Somehow, magically or whatever, But if it happens, then pick up where I left off and continue and spread the message that, not just my message, but God's message, that He's telling me to tell you guys, So, guys, I'm done. I swear I've said it like 20 times by now. I'm driving home. I love you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in to this video. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I hope I've said something to incite your minds to continue to learn about this. And don't just believe the media. Don't just believe the news. Research it for yourself and stand on your own 2 feet. I love you guys. You guys have a blessed night. And be safe out there. Take care.